if that happens, I would be so glad in a way.
If you got cheated on, I'm not trying to be this chauvinistic asshole. Bro, one of those girls wants dick bad. I trust the locks on my Lamborghini, but I don't park it in the hood. There's not a guy friend that exists that doesn't want to sleep with a woman. If it were the case, then why don't guys have fat girlfriends? They generally don't. You don't see, you know a guy that has a friend that's a girl is obese? I don't. And if the opportunity was presented to that man, he would sleep with her 1,000% of the time. Guys play friend zone game all the time. So I don't put up with any girl that I'm seeing. See exes or guy friends. I just don't do it.
Your logic is to protect the woman. You will draw these lines in the sand, establish these boundaries in order to protect the woman or to protect the relationship.
Well, the relationship, you know, I mean, outside of thinking she's going to get mugged, I mean, the very obvious thing is the relationship. And it doesn't mean I don't trust her. Andrew's very famous for saying, I trust the locks on my Lamborghini, but I don't park it in the hood. I trust my girl, but I ain't going to put her in a club in Vegas.
But see, I would have also confidence in her, let's say 8 friends that she's going out with, if they're all going to be looking over each other, assuming that you know the friend group,
Bro, one of those girls wants dick bad. One of those girls, maybe 2 out of the 8, are definitely willing to cheat. And that's an energy just like the one we talked about with the hiring process. I'm telling you, girls' night, wild wine, woo, titties out, everybody's looking good. No, bro, I'm not doing it.
It's just, this is so far outside of like
I'm not doing it.
What I'm curious is, here's an argument that I heard that actually sounds really great, which was, if you can't be the man where she will always, independent of every other variable, pick you over every other person that exists on this planet, then why is it in your best interest to continue to be with her? If you have 2 perfect people that are independent in their own regard, they're making good money, they are fully self-sufficient, doing their own thing, and they choose to be with each other even though they're perfect on their own, that is a relationship that is not based off of any needs. It's not based off of, hey, like, you know, I'll push and pull, give, get. It's just based off of, I like you, or I love you for who you are and nothing more, nothing less. Let's be together.
Cool. And I would follow up to that and say, in 2023, that is the archetype of what a couple should be. Do you agree? Like, people are trying to be 2 individuals.
That's one of them. Yeah.
I think it's a very popular one.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't work. The divorce rates are higher than they've ever been. There's more single people. And if you follow Rolo at all, he said I think it's like by 2040, like half of the women will be childless and not married. Doesn't work.
Now, I do want to say the divorce rates, because that was something I've looked into in the past.
Right.
And I even go so far as to be like, statistically, what has the highest divorce rates? Usually it's marrying young, but it's also what raises it to the 50% is the 2nd, 3rd, 4th marriages, which have like an 80% failure rate. From what I've seen, people who have an education, who make a certain amount of money, I think it was more than like $80,000 a year, who marry above the age of 25, I think the divorce rate was more like 25, 30%. It's still high, but still less than the 50% when you account for all these other variables. Now, the other thing is that maybe they haven't been married long enough to see the divorce, but they are marrying later with a lower divorce rate so far from what we've seen.
Either way, I do believe in gender roles, and I don't believe in suppressing a person, but I also believe in not setting them up to be put in a bad position. That's all. Because, hey, let's just meet for coffee can turn into many things very quickly, especially if the man knows what he's doing.
But see, part of me believes that, like, if that happens, I would be so glad in a way, because like, I know
if you got cheated on,
because I would know without a shadow of a doubt that's not the person for me. I would have had no doubts in my mind to be able to walk away very clearly. Like, that to me seems like I would rather just that happen and move on.
Right.
I get that would seem like a bit of a relief in a sense. It's like, okay, now I know. There we go. You know, and if she would be happy or so, by all means, like, obviously I'd be upset. But to me, that would just be a clear signal that, hey, this wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, I get it. I got a message from a guy today. He told me, he said, hey, man, my ex cheated with her ex-boyfriend. I got a DNA test, but she is pregnant with my child. Bro, how do you move forward in that? It goes from, hey, I'm gonna meet Kevin to I cheated on you. I don't even know if this is your kid. It's just, man, there's certain
But
lines.
I also feel like there's got to be red flags.
There are.
There's gotta be
and they're
signs
micro
signals.
things.
Sure.
Like Instagram posts or girls' trips or there's a multitude of different things it could be. You know, guy friends or going to lunch with dudes. Like, there's no way. And listen, I'm not trying to be this chauvinistic asshole. I just believe that if you're firm in these things, women respect it.
I guess I take the approach, if someone's going to cheat, they're going to cheat regardless. If you say you can't go to the club, they're going to find a way around it. If that's the objective.
I think if a girl
it
really
seems-
loves you, she don't want to go anyway.
I agree.